AITA for telling some of my siblings it would be too awkward if I invited them to my wedding. Not a typical one. I have 2 biological brothers and I have 3 half-adoptive siblings and 1 stepsister. My dad married my adoptive mom when I was a year old and my brothers were a little older. My dad also adopted 3 of my step-siblings, the 3 half-adoptive siblings. I only use specifics so it makes sense. Anyway, when I was 9 my dad and mom died in a car accident leaving all of us without parents. My stepsister took her biological siblings in, and our grandparents helped her, but they left me and my brothers to go into foster care and did not keep in touch with us. They also did not let us keep in touch with our siblings. When I turned 18 I, along with my brothers, reached out to our other siblings, only to be told it would be too weird and awkward to reconnect after everything. It hurt, I'm not going to lie. I spent so many years excited to see them again and they rejected us. Last year my brothers reconnected with them but I didn't. They didn't show that much enthusiasm then either, but when I announced my engagement they got more interested and have tried since. But they have also asked me straight up about inviting them. My reply was it would be too weird and awkward to have them there after everything. They did not like my reply. They said I am being really unfair to them and we're still family. Yeah, but I want to know they give a shit and not that they want a fun day out, because they only seemed to be invested now, after the wedding announcement. AITA? NTA, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near those people who rejected you. They let you go into foster care. I understand it was a tough situation, but that was so unfair. They do not get to celebrate your happy occasion because they want to. This is your choice to make, and I think you are doing the right thing. My siblings didn't. It was their sister, my still stepsister, because she was never adopted by dad, and their grandparents, adoptive grandparents, that let us go into care. But my siblings rejected us when we were all adults and we reached out. NTA, and it's weird and awkward that they'd even ask you. Yeah, you start with something low stakes like brunch and build from there. Not a wedding. NTA, I don't blame you for not inviting them. They didn't bother with you for years. If they want to work on having a relationship after the wedding would be a time to start working on it. This is all very sad. I'm sorry this is your backstory. I'm glad things seem to be looking up. You've done well to make it though this kind of unideal childhood, understatement, with your sense of self, and of right and wrong, intact. Very obvious NTA. Congratulations on your wedding. Thanks. It sucks. Does. I knew their older sister didn't exactly think much of me and my brothers, but I was hoping my other siblings would still care more. Like I get it must have been weird for them and who knows what their sister and extended family said. But we spent 8 years as family, they were all older than me and we had been close. Knowing they didn't even want to gradually build back up for so many years sucks. And we lost the people who connected us all. Miss them so much. AITA for refusing to drive my ex-boyfriend to the ER. I, 24F, broke up with my boyfriend, 28 meters, of 4 years on New Year's Day due to infidelity. Ever since then he's been constantly calling me, messaging me on literally every social media app and coming around to my house even though I've told him numerous times he has to stop contacting me. Last Wednesday at 2 in the morning, he called me repeatedly until I answered and he told me he was in bad pain and felt sick and he thinks he needs to go to the hospital. I told him to call an ambulance if it's that bad, but he said he can't afford the bill. Honestly, I didn't really believe there was anything wrong with him, so I wasn't really taking him seriously. I asked him what did he expect me to do and he replied that he wants me to give him a lift to the hospital because he's in too much pain to drive himself. I blatantly refused, told him to call his brother to take him and then hung up. Anyways, turns out he was diagnosed with pancreatitis and he's been making me feel guilty about it ever since, and he's expecting me to visit him in the hospital to make it up to him. I'm feeling pretty bad about the whole situation. AITA? NTA, block his number. This is the way. It doesn't matter if he actually had a real medical condition. He can call his family or an ambulance. Don't buy into the false guilt. NTA nearly a month after you broke up with him he calls you and wants you to take him to the hospital. That might be something normal for an amicable breakup, but this is no amicable breakup. He cheated on you. You've told him to leave you alone. Has he done that? No. He's been harassing and stalking you on social media. Block him and maybe file harassment with the police in case this gets worse or keep going on. You'll want a paper trail if you ever want to get a restraining order. NTA. You're broken up. You have no obligations to him anymore. NTA. Tell him next time to instead call/bother whoever he cheated on you with and then block his number. AITA. For kicking out my sister after she refused to help with my son. My parents had me, 25F, at a very old age. All my siblings are significantly older than me and they tolerated me for the most part. My oldest sister took it a step further and barely interacted with me. I learned quickly that she disliked me and I kept my space from her afterwards. Although we live in the same town, we didn't really interact with each other and only talked during family events/calls. Recently my sister lost her job. She is widowed with adult children who live on their own in different cities. My mom begged me to let her move in with me and framed as a chance for us to bond and become actual sisters. My sister has been living with me for about 7 months now. She doesn't help with anything, she doesn't cook, clean or even contribute to utility bills. The only thing she does is play with my son 1 year old. And even then it's like 15 to 20 minutes. And if he needs a diaper change or need to be fed, she calls on me. I was making dinner for the 3 of us, my husband was still at work at this time and my sister was playing in the living room with my son. She called me that I should come and change my son's diapers. I asked her to please change it since I was cutting vegetables. She said it can wait and that she's been there and done that. I stopped cooking and changed my son's diapers. After the dinner was done, I didn't call my sister to come and eat and I'm sure she got the memo. The next day, I told my sister that I can't live with her anymore and that she needs to find a new place to live. She called me names. My parents are saying I'm wicked for kicking out my own sister and so are my siblings. They also said that my sister isn't my nanny and it's unfair of me to expect free childcare. If she doesn't contribute to anything, she can help out with childcare, especially if that childcare is when you're cooking/cleaning for her. NTA. NTA. Your sister is mooching off you and your husband. Get that she lost her job but she can still help out around the house to help out. She's been living rent-free for 7 months. Time for her to live with someone else if she won't step up and help. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, watching your son. If she really didn't want to change your son she could have offered to finish up dinner while you spent time with him. Good luck. Also, does your family who is complaining realize she does nothing but mooch off of you and your hubby, or do they think she helps out and you are just booting her out? NTA. If you can't expect free childcare, then she shouldn't expect a place to live of which she contributes nothing to. If she doesn't help pay bills, she should be expected to help out in other ways, whether it be chores or helping out with your baby. The entitlement is disgusting. NTA. Free childcare. You aren't asking for free childcare. You asked for her to change 1 diaper while you prepared supper for her. If she's so ungrateful for having a roof over her head and food to eat that's cooked by someone else that she can't even change the occasional diaper, she doesn't deserve to live with you.